Hey guys, Professor Lisa Lowe here. Welcome to Digital Public Relations, Tech PR 3315. I am so glad you're here. One of my very favorite things to do is research, teach, and discuss this phenomenon we call digital and social media. I witnessed its birth in internet chat rooms. Anyone else remember dial-up? Probably not at your age, but maybe you've seen the movie You've Got Mail and watched MySpace give way to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and now Snapchat. Who knows what's next? In fact, I created many of the official accounts still in use at Texas Tech University. But today is all about you. It's about the course interface. It's about talking about how to succeed in this class. I want to make sure that you understand just a couple of things before you get started. First of all, if you do not have the syllabus in your hand right now, please pause this video and download a copy, and preferably print it, but at least pull it up on your screen so that you can follow along with me. So I'll ask you to pause and then resume once you have the syllabus in your hand. So I am not going to read this 7-page baby to you, but I do want to give you some highlights. You're all either juniors or seniors, I believe, in your classification, so you've definitely seen a syllabus before. The last page, in fact, is institutional resources that every single professor is supposed to include with their syllabi. So I am not going to go over that, but it's there for you if you need it. I do want to point your attention to a couple of things in the introduction on page 1. Prerequisites. It is critical that you have completed PR 3311 with a C or better. You will need to apply what you learned. Hopefully you learned the GHOST model, you learned about formative research, and you are ready to put that into play in the digital and social spaces. So if you have not in fact done that, or if you are simultaneously enrolled for some reason this summer, you need to contact Kim Bergen ASAP, and we need to rectify that situation. You are going to really struggle if you don't recall and have not familiarized yourself with those concepts. The required course materials, as you can see, I've got a couple of books here. This is our textbook, Online Reputation Management for Dummies. Don't let the title fool you. If you could just scratch out the for dummies part, I've kind of hidden it here. But in this age of Cambridge Analytica, Facebook having all kinds of privacy issues, data breaches, I get an email every single day updating privacy settings from different platforms that I have subscribed to over the years. In this day and age, it's about reputation management, and that's great. That's a great fit for public relations, and we're lucky to be here today. But the textbook is a good one. It's easy to read, it's cheap, and it's going to give you a good foundation for online reputation management, or ORM as we call it for short. The second thing that you're going to need is the AP style book. Many of your points in your blogging, in your written assignments, are going to be dependent on your ability to identify and use AP style. There are a plethora of resources that I've also included with the course. Once we get to the Blackboard tour, you will see on the left-hand side navigation that I have included lots of online and of course this is a digital class, so I've included some tools for you to have easy access to. But you really seriously need to invest in an AP style book. I couldn't get my computer to work the other day, and I actually looked something up. Your technical requirements are listed in the syllabus. I will not go over those today. Hopefully you've got email access, internet access, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this. So I'm assuming that you've got all these requirements. This course is fully online, meaning we will not meet face-to-face. We will not have any synchronous planned activities, meaning we all have to be at the same place at the same time. So it's all on demand. and you will learn at your own pace within the parameters that I have set. Our course week, except for this week and the last week of class, begins on Monday at 12 a.m. So for you night owls that might want to stay up late and wait for that clock to tick over to the new day, you are in luck, because all of your materials will be readily available beginning Monday at 12 a.m. Under most circumstances, the course assignments, activities, and anything that is a 4-credit assessment will be due on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. That is at the end of the day. So you typically will have 7 days to consume the materials, complete the tasks, do the activities that are for assessment, and do other things, take the quizzes and all that's required each week. I've broken it down into weekly modules for your convenience. So on page 2, you are looking at some participation in conduct. I want to point out, as I did in the introductory email, you can expect to invest 20 to 30 hours per week in this course. If that sounds like a lot to you, just remember that if we were to meet in a face-to-face environment during the summer, we would meet 2 hours per day, Monday through Friday, every day. And then you are expected, the rule of thumb is 2 hours of outside study for every in-class hour. So this is a time commitment. There is a lot of work to be completed, so it's not something that you should ignore. Make sure that you're prepared to invest that much time. Communication. I prefer the phone. That makes me a little bit old-fashioned, and by phone I don't care if you're talking about voice or text, but the most immediate resource for our convenience, let me get my phone here, right here. We've got it in our hot little hands. I got some breaking news here. So do not hesitate to call me or text me. Chances are, if you've got an issue, you've got a problem, we can solve it in 60 seconds or less, and I'd much rather help you when you need it rather than us wait and go back and forth through email, what have you. There's also a general Q&A. Let me back up. My cell phone is listed right at the top of the syllabus. If you want to jot it down right now, it's 806-252-9085. Put it in your phone now. You will need to contact me at some point, and I want to make sure that you have it handy. There is a general Q&A discussion board already loaded in Blackboard. I would prefer, for non-urgent questions, that you go ahead and post your issue there, or if you have a comment or something to share, would really love to see that feedback. But again, in an in-class environment, we'd have a discussion. I'd say, are there any questions? And I would answer questions, and then my answer would benefit the rest of the students who were not asleep, obviously. But don't be insulted if I ask you to post your question if you contact me. If it rises to the general level, if it's not private information, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to post that to the online Q&A. Email is my least favorite communication method, but I know it's a necessarily evil, especially in an asynchronous environment. But I do understand that I do have a 3 email rule, and if I can't resolve your issue in 3 responses, I'm going to ask you to call me or text me, or so we can make arrangements to talk through the issue. Because apparently, sometimes I just get so focused on what I'm thinking and you're not understanding. It's just a whole lot easier for us to talk and resolve the issue. So again, don't be insulted if I say, oh, 3 email rule, let's chat. I love to chat with students. I'm really that kind of professor that I really want to hear from you, want to hear how you're doing. There's some rules of the road in terms of netiquette, which I will not read to you. Don't talk in all caps, don't shout, those kinds of things. Problems with Blackboard. Okay, so you may or may not have experienced problems in the past. It's likely to happen. Blackboard crashes, things go wrong, technical problems arise. I give you a step-by-step guide to what happens, what you need to do to protect yourself. I would hate to see you lose points or lose work have to redo something that just breaks my heart. You need to follow the steps right there as outlined with problems with Blackboard. If your computer crashes, if you lose files, if they're corrupt, if for some reason on my end I'm not seeing what you're seeing, it's the equivalent of handing in a blank piece of paper in a face-to-face class. So make sure that you are arming yourself with that information so you'll know what to do in case that you do have a problem. The course learning objectives I'm going to go over in a separate voiceover PowerPoint. So I'm going to skip over those. There are, in terms of assessments, there are 300 points available for this course. You can see the breakdown on the very next page. It's in a table assessment, and it gives a total of points and an approximate percentage for how much that's worth overall. And then I give you my grading guidelines for the final grade, so you'll know exactly when you see that point total where you fit in terms of, am I going to make an A, am I going to make a B, or what do I need to make on the exam, or what have you. I completely understand you wanting to know how you stand, and that's exactly how I calculate that. 24/7 rule, please wait at least 24 hours after grades have been posted to contact me. I know that your preference probably would be to take a quiz and then be concerned about maybe you missed a question or two. Please give me time to grade those and look at that, and I give it my careful consideration. And then once I announce that grades have been posted, then feel free to reach out to me. But please don't think that I'm trying to discourage you from contacting me about grades, because that's my job. I'm here to explain how I arrived at your grade. I might have made a mistake. You never know. Late assignments, I don't accept them. So make sure that you are aware of what's due and when it's due. It's public relations, guys. This is important that we understand deadlines and we meet them. Guidelines for written work are there. Note about AP style. Again, why that's important. The assessment breakdown is very detailed. It gives you exactly how everything's going to break down, what points are available for each type of assessment. Blog post, my favorite. Don't let that scare you too much. That turns out a lot of times. I just got an email from a PR 3315 alum who was very happy with the blogging that she did, and she was letting me know how much it helped open up some doors for her. So don't be afraid. Be a little afraid, but not too afraid. The course schedule is set. I am, full disclosure, speaking of transparency that we're going to talk about here in a little bit in terms of some of the week 1 course materials. This is not my first online delivery class. I've been teaching for the grad program. This is my 3rd summer. I love teaching online, and if you've had me in the past, you probably know that I love teaching hybrid courses. So very comfortable with the online environment. However, this is brand new in terms of me taking the 3315 course and condensing it down for summer. Which is one challenge, and then 2, delivering it completely online, which is challenge 2. I'm up for the challenge, but please just understand that if I need to change something, I'm going to be completely transparent about it. I'm going to let you know about it. I take ownership of my own issues, so I don't want you to worry about that, but I do want you to be aware, and I might ask you for some feedback. Not before, but during and after things come up and we complete the weeks as time goes by. I might ask you for your feedback. Again, if you've had me before, you know that I definitely expect feedback, and then I act on it. So that's kind of the introduction I want to give you. I'm going to provide some materials in terms of introducing you to the online environment. a little course tour, some more about me and some other things, but just hi from Lubbock, Texas. I don't know where you're logging in from, but I look forward to seeing you. This is my new house. This used to be a nursery, so I've got some painting to do, but welcome to my home office. Welcome to the course. I'm so glad you're here.